Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, everyone. We're messing with the heater. Heather over here is dying, and I am cold.
Standard.
Yeah, pretty standard. So, anyways, welcome to Tea Time, and I'm Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness, and this is Heather Fiore from Free State Nutrition, and today we are talking about pre and probiotics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Some fun stuff. We're still on the gut. This is our theme for the next month. So sorry if you guys are tired of the gut. But we got a few more things to go. You know, like a bad gut, it just ruins your day.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. So we have some tea here, and I have no idea. It might be disgusting.
Oh, good.
So we'll try
Can't wait
and see. They'll tell you what it is.
What do you got in there?
Not my favorite.
At least it's not hot. I'm okay.
It's not hot. It's chamomile and lavender.
Okay.
And then this one is lemon and ginseng ginger. That's probably like the part we don't like. But then I don't know if I'm a fan of lavender in my teas ever, but some people like it. Anyways, don't mix this combo. It's not good. I'll revert to my water.
Yes.
Okay. So today we are doing pre-probiotics. And so we were going to talk about, like, what's a probiotic? I don't even know. Yes, I do. I always know. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys. So a probiotic, they're live microorganisms, and they are intended to have health benefits, right? Support your immune system, digestion, right?
Yeah, just keep a healthy balance.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, like, we don't like to think about all the living organisms
inside and on us.
Yes. In and around our whole bodies.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
They're just crawling.
Do you know, I think about this all the time, actually, when I think about the old days. Yeah, I was alive during the sterile old days, but, you know, my mom and my grandmother and my great-grandmother, you know, they were all alive during the non-sterile old days. And what does that mean? That is like when you went to the garden and you were, like, you know, picking stuff and then you brought it in, and you may not have cleaned it all the way, and you ate that stuff, and it was okay. You didn't die, mostly.
Except when you did.
You drank the water, the cholera water. Oh, no.
Yes.
But really, you know, they ate that stuff. You know what happened when I was little? Actually, this is the old days, and this wasn't so sterile. My brother... So my mom and her friend went to pick in the garden, and they were picking onions and some other stuff. I don't know. So they set my brother. He was like one, somewhere in there. They set him at the end of the row that they were picking, you know, and they were picking. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't too far away from them. And he had mud all over his mouth and everything. He had picked a whole ton of onions, and he was eating them out of the dirt, just eating them. Yeah, it wasn't very sterile. To this day, he can taste if there's an onion in anything. You can't hide onions in anything. He won't eat an onion to save his life. He ate enough then. So
that's funny.
Anyways, he didn't die. He was okay. My son eats dirt all the time. He likes it. I don't know why. It's a boy thing, I guess. It's amazing we like boys. They're kind of gross. Okay, so what's a prebiotic? Wait, did we say, okay, probiotics, they help immune function. What else do you have over there? I have a lot of other stuff on here.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on. So,
yeah.
They're...
Don't grab that.
I know I'm going to pick it up again. Really.
You are so going to pick that up.
Yes. Yeah, so they help, you know, just prevent a bacterial, like bad bacteria from like overgrowth.
Oh yeah, I have that later.
Yeah.
They contain a variety of microorganisms in a capsule form usually, but it can be in food and other things like that.
Yes, we'll talk about that for sure.
And the most common bacterial organisms that are in your probiotics are lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Wasn't that fun to say? Bifidobacterium.
Yes.
But you can also get yeast in there, such as Saccharomyces boulardii. That's the one that's most commonly in there.
Okay.
A little bit of yeast. And so I had actually probiotics, prebiotics, and symbiotics.
Ooh.
So we already said the probiotic. A prebiotic actually refers to a dietary substance that favors the growth of beneficial bacteria over harmful ones.
Right.
So I thought you would probably talk about prebiotics.
Yeah.
I don't really know a lot about that.
Yeah. Basically, though, it's the food, right? It's
right.
Like
it's the dirty onions that you ate out of the garden.
Yeah, but it's
natural.
the food for the bacteria. Like you're feeding the probiotics.
Oh. I got it.
Yes,
okay.
They need to eat, otherwise they die.
Yeah, right. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Or they get pooped out.
Well,
with your diarrhea.
They die and then get pooped out.
Yeah. And then symbiotics are products that combine both probiotics and prebiotics.
Okay.
So now we know. So just one thing. The body, it's not a sterile thing. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how much washing you do. You're not going to wash that stuff off. All right? We want the bacteria and the yeast on us because actually that's one of our first lines of defense. Right? It's on our skin so that when we get something on our skin, like MRSA, nobody wants MRSA. If you get it on there, the other bacteria are like, wait a second, this is my territory, get the heck out, and it won't let it grow. So, but that's why when you cut yourself, like say you cut your hand, and then if it starts to get infected, then that's because, you know, it's got an opening now. So your normal bacteria that are on your skin that colonize you, they actually will take advantage of situations sometimes. It's the same thing that happens in our body, right? Our gut, it is not a sterile environment. And ladies, neither is our vagina, all right? It's a war zone in there. That's what I say. Everyone, it's a war zone. It's a war zone between bacteria and yeast, okay? They fight against each other and they keep each other in check. When the environment is right, one of them can grow over. That's how we get yeast infections. When you take an antibiotic, antibiotics don't care where they kill things, right? They kill whatever they can kill. They're not like, oh, you have a sinus infection, I'm going to go into your sinuses and I'm just going to work there. Oh, wait, you have some great stuff in your gut. I'm going to kill that too. Mm-hmm. Oh, and that stuff in your vagina. Yep, going there too. And so then they die off. Well, when that stuff dies off, the yeast can now take over the territory. And then that's how you get a yeast infection. Mm-hmm. When the good stuff dies off, like the stuff that we're trying to put in with our probiotics, when that stuff dies off, then you get diarrhea because you have the bad stuff there also. And the good stuff keeps the bad stuff in check in our gut. The other thing that the good stuff does is it helps you digest food.
Yes.
Helps break down your food and helps you digest. So if you don't have it, you have a lot of bloating. Yeah, that's true. So now we know what they do. And it's a war zone, people. If only we had like a microscope and we could see all the little soldiers.
Yeah, it's probably best if most people don't.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Aren't able to see that. It's probably not
okay.
Be reassuring.
Yeah.
So I was just going to also add that in addition to like just these regular processes, keeping regular things in check, there's also the potential for like treatment and prevention of disease,
like absolutely
conditions.
Yeah.
So the diarrhea is obvious, right? But like irritable bowel syndrome, which I think we're going to like spend a whole time talking about that.
Yes.
But ulcerative colitis and like Crohn's disease.
Yep.
So, probiotics play a role in these conditions.
Yes. They and there actually are some controlled trials out there that have shown that lactobacillus, it's like lactobacillus GG, can shorten the course of infectious diarrhea in infants and children, not so much in adults is what I found. But there's some data that suggests that it will also decrease antibiotic induced diarrhea. And that is by like 60%. So that's pretty good. And that's in people, everyone. Also constipation.
Sure.
There's some research that shows that it will slow the transit time by 12 hours, about 12 and a half hours. And it'll increase the number of weekly stools by 1.3, which if you're having trouble, that's actually pretty good.
Right.
I'm not sure how they classify a 0.3 stool. That's probably rabbit turds. I don't know. But at least it came out a little bit. But it can also help soften your stool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, unfortunately, there's not a lot of good data, but the data is mixed as to whether it seems to show that it can help maintain remission of ulcerative colitis and also help prevent relapses of Crohn's disease. So that's good. With the vagina, I mean, we might as well just go there now since we just talked about it. The lactobacillus strains make it too acidic in the for harmful microorganisms to actually take a hold and grow in the vagina. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
But if you throw in your antibiotic, also, ladies, spermicides, and contraceptive pills, actually, it will throw off your. Yeah, you know, like, isn't that crazy? We just like took out all of the contraception.
Yeah, like
and, but it can throw off the balance, and you can get yeast infections and BV. So what's BV? That's that fishy odor. Nobody likes that. But it throws that microflora off in your vagina, and you can get either bacterial overgrowth, which is usually BV, or you can get the yeast, which is the yeasty beastie. None of us like that. But also urinary tract infections.
Good grief.
Yeah, so actually probiotics can help with a lot of that stuff. I tell that to all my ladies that get BV a lot or yeast infections to try a probiotic and see if we can't. You know what, unfortunately, when you get a yeast infection, it's usually from an antibiotic. And you end up chasing your tail because then you treat the yeast infection and you get BV. Then you got to treat the BV, but then you get the yeast. It's terrible. The vagina.
It's a delicate balance down there.
It's a delicate balance for sure. Also safety with your probiotics, right? So probiotics can actually cause infections, right? Usually they have a pretty good safety record in healthy people. But if you're immunocompromised, then they can cause some struggles.
Yes.
Yeah. So what else do you have?
Well, just that we'll need to talk about where to get these things.
Oh yes. You know, let's see. We kind of talked about what they did. Well, we didn't really. How do they work? Do you know that?
No.
Okay. So
that sounds like your department.
So we kind of already talked about that, but how do the probiotics work? So they help to maintain a desirable community of microorganisms that we want there, which is kind of what we already said. But they also will stabilize your digestive tract barrier, which is something we talked about last time with the leaky gut. Yeah. So it'll stabilize that barrier so that you're not allowing the unwanted microorganisms to take hold in there, and it'll create that nice barrier. And it can also produce substances that inhibit or outgrow or outcompete, I guess, the unwanted microorganisms too. And then it can stimulate your immune system a little bit. So do you have anything in there about the science on your side? What does the science say?
In terms of like
probiotics, like do they work? Or what can they help with? They can actually maybe help with a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, if you connect this back to, leaky gut and the autoimmune stuff,
right?
Then so many things are affected.
Yes.
Right? Anything that is remotely related to your immune system.
Yes, like allergic, like atopic dermatitis, allergic rhinitis, so like the runny nose. Atopic dermatitis is like eczema thing. It's just like allergy skin.
Right.
And then runny nose or seasonal allergy type stuff constant runny nose. Yep.
Right. Autoimmune diseases, like we talked about.
Yep.
The whole
Like,
thyroid discussion.
Yeah. And we talked about like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel.
Right.
It actually is one of the first treatments for irritable bowel.
Right. Now, I don't know about diverticulitis. Maybe that's too far down that it's not related. I don't know.
That's a good question.
But I mean, there's like inflammation there, right?
There is. And, so, you know, diverticulitis, if you don't know what that is, it's outpouching of the gut. And it's usually the large intestine, and it's most commonly seen at your descending colon. And this is kind of something that actually happens as you age. It's because the descending colon its main role is reabsorption of water, and so things like hang out there for a while, and so the pressures can build up a little bit. You can get these outpouchings or like weakenings in the wall, and then they're called diverticula, and that's oftentimes seen on colonoscopies. It's actually like if you have a colonoscopy and you have a little rupture in your gut, because that's a common complication of side effects of the common complication of your colonoscopy is that you can have a rupture in your gut. You can have a hole created, and it's oftentimes seen at diverticula because of the outpouching. It's a weakening in the wall, and so if the air, you know, they're pushing air in there to be able to see everything, and so one of those can rupture. A lot of times they close on their own. Sometimes you have to have surgery to fix that, but it's major painful. But yeah, so, you know, I would think that the bacteria would still get down that far. Would it help with decreasing? I mean, I guess the data isn't out there, but maybe because nobody's researched it.
Probably not.
But I think that's a great thing that should be researched. Probiotics and diverticulitis.
Somebody get on that.
Yeah, and let us know. We should be the first to know since we threw it out there.
Yeah. So I do have an article that I'm going to share in the comments that's has a little bit of, like, it's preliminary data, right? Because we don't really, there's not great research, but linking like particular strains of probiotics and conditions.
Oh, sure. Cool.
So
some other things that I found were tooth decay and periodontal disease. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, that's bacteria related. You want the good stuff in there first to war for territory so the bad stuff doesn't take over. Did you know that periodontal disease in pregnancy can actually affect tooth growth in babies?
The tooth growth? I mean, I knew it was somehow related.
It can give them periodontal disease.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So if you have bad teeth and you're pregnant, you're supposed to get them taken care of.
I know, but a lot of dentists don't want to touch a pregnant
They don't want to touch a pregnant woman.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. It's like catch-22.
I know.
But they should.
Take care of your teeth, then get pregnant. Because we're all such great planners.
Yeah. Yeah. None of us are. Babies never come when you want them to. And when you want them to, they don't. So, common cold. You know, because it helps boost your immune system, I would say. And you know, here's an interesting thing. So this one is probably like a, you know, slippery slope. So like NICU babies, preemie babies, they have trouble with necrotizing enterocolitis. It's like basically the gut starts to die. They have a terrible time with this. Probiotics can actually help decrease that. There's some data that suggests that, that it can prevent that in low birth weight infants. But then, guess what can also cause infections in low birth weight infants? Probiotics. It's a slippery slope, so don't do it on your own. Let the NICU doctor do it. If they want to do probiotics, do it. If not, don't.
Again, this whole thing is a balance. Like, it's not just like, oh, probiotics are good, so the more the better.
Right. And that's the thing, is that what we just don't know. And the probiotics, the economy, I guess, probiotic economy has like outgrown the data.
Yes.
We don't have the data yet to say, I mean, we think that they're good for us, but we don't have the data. We don't have the data to say, you know, we do have data that suggests that these might be good things for us, but we don't have data that actually says this is how much you're supposed to take.
Right.
And this is what you're supposed to take. And then the FDA doesn't govern these supplements.
Right.
And so you don't even know if what they say is in there is necessarily in there.
Right. I do have some guidelines for that too.
Yeah. There are, usually every year, they, like Consumer Report or Health Consumer Report or whatever, they will actually do a listing of the best probiotics. And they'll do like the top 5 or something. And I've seen some other articles that do even more than 5. And they have grading criteria, and they will actually test them to see if what's in them is supposed to be in them. And they'll just say these are the top 5. And so, you know, you can always look that up when you're looking for your probiotic.
Yeah. There's also an app.
Of course.
There's an app for that.
There's like an app for it.
So
what is the app? Pick My Probiotic?
So the website is usprobioticguide.com. And then if you search like in the App Store for Probiotic Guide, I think there's one code.
Is it free?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I have it. I've actually used it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool.
My phone is so old that it doesn't support any apps anymore. It should be rotary. It's so old. I know. What can I do? I can't get a new one. Not yet. Okay. What else do you got over there?
I'm just ready to tell you where you're going to.
Where are we going to get it?
Eat them from. So we talked about like there's supplements. You have to be careful because you know you don't know what's in there, and even the amounts in there could be too much. You know, it could be the wrong strains, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So places to get probiotics from food, which I'm a big fan.
I like food. I like food. I love food.
I like food, and I like getting, you know, what I need from my food instead of in a pill.
My pill, yeah, I agree.
Because I really just a little sidebar, like don't even understand some probiotics come in the refrigerator, which makes sense because they have to like, you know, stay alive, and then some don't. So do those work too? Like how's that go?
I have no idea.
I don't really know. Okay, so we always think about fermented foods being like your main source,
like
right?
Sauerkraut.
Kombucha.
Yeah.
Kefir. Which is like
yogurt.
Like yogurt. It's like yogurt times 100.
Oh.
So like, you know, yogurt has the way you would think of like liquid, like drinkable yogurt, but like I said, like times 100, like in terms of, you know how yogurt is just a little bit tart. Yeah. So more of that.
It's tarty.
It's tarty, and it's a little bit like fermented. So it's not quite carbonated, but just a little bit.
It's like kombucha.
Totally, like kombucha.
Tarty.
So yeah, hard to explain. I recommend the flavored kind because plain kefir.
Do people drink it?
They do. People drink it. They're hardcore. I mean,
they are
good for
so
them.
hardcore.
But if you're just getting started,
shot of kombucha, shot of kefir. It's like the follower.
It's a little chaser.
Yeah.
But any pickled vegetables. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I like pickled beets.
There you go, pickled beets. Any pickled anything. So even pickles or olives.
I like pickles.
Right?
I like olives. Olives are pickled. I guess so.
Yeah.
Like
and then like if you go to a Korean restaurant and there's like that little side of pickled vegetables, kimchi, and it's like it's pickled vegetables with little red flakes in it, which is like to me like danger. Do not know. It's hot, spicy.
It like clears the sinuses.
Yeah, it's not for me, but you know, if you're into that.
But I can only do a little bit. Yeah, a little bit at a time.
And that's all you need for any of these things. Yeah. Like if you have,
you don't need to eat a plateful.
Like a half a cup of kefir or kombucha or something, or like one little serving of pickled vegetables, and you're good. So also though, the things people don't think about is miso. which is like a soy-based soup that you might get like at a Japanese restaurant.
I've had that once.
Yeah, and then tempeh, which is soy-based protein source.
Sure.
And that is fermented. So there you go. And sometimes tofu is, but I haven't figured out, how do you know if your tofu is fermented?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it says on there. Fermented tofu.
Right. Maybe if it is, it would say it. I've never seen it, so maybe it isn't.
That would pack a punch for you, you know, because of goodness.
Yeah, right. You got your soy, you got your protein, and you got your probiotic. Yeah. Triple win as far as I'm concerned.
Healing everything there.
Yeah.
What else?
So those are your main sources. Like I said, like yogurt does have some probiotics. It's just not like a therapeutic amount as far as we know. You know, like kefir is going to give you like a pretty
That's
big,
why it's like 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's why it's more so.
I can't do kombucha, so I'm not sure I could do kefir, but maybe,
just saying.
You know what we should do? Is we should get
instead of you making me drink your tea, I should bring in my stuff.
We should get like do shots of kefir and kombucha.
All right. I'll make myself a note. We're gonna do that. That'll be fun.
That'd be funny.
Then don't forget you have to feed your probiotics.
Yeah.
These little dudes in there.
That's the prebiotic.
They need to eat and they need prebiotics.
Yeah.
And guess what they eat?
Food.
They eat food, but they eat things that have carbohydrate. So, but it could be.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. So, check it out. If you are following like a keto diet,
guess what? Your bacteria aren't eaten.
I don't know what's happening in your gut, but it's probably not good. It's not ideal. I'm gonna.
So that
say
makes sense for them to get bloating.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So even if it's like
you're starving them,
like onions and leeks, and like it doesn't have to be like, you know, super carby stuff, but like garlic also, but bananas.
Oh, my mom loves garlic.
So any of those guys will feed your probiotics, but also bananas and oats, and I think other.
I like leeks.
Do
you like leeks?
I like leeks.
I like leeks. I didn't know what they were, and so I got them once.
Oh,
but I didn't know what they were. I like to do that. And then now I know. And I like them a lot, actually. I put them in soup.
It's a nice and mild,
sometimes I'll
like
put them in, sometimes I'll put them in
nice.
Hamburger or whatever, like if I'm cooking up chili or something. And yeah, it's like a little onion. It's like a cross between an onion and a chive.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, but you got to watch out because you got to peel those leaves back. They get dirt in there. Then you know it was real grown. Yeah. What else?
So those are the main places. So what exactly that they are looking for is, in case you care, fructo oligosaccharides.
Oh, that's what the bacteria are wanting.
Yes, and then lacto oligosaccharides. So
lacto or galacto?
Oh yes,
galacto.
Galacto.
That's like there's like a character, galacto or something. It's whatever. I don't know. It's a kid character.
But think fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Those are your
vegetables, whole grains. Don't you eat that on the? Well, I guess not on the keto diet. You're eating meat.
It's very
high
limited.
protein.
Yeah,
and very limited.
A lot of fat and a lot of protein.
Yeah, you get bloating and fatty stool. You can't absorb a lot of that fat.
Right.
It goes right through you. And then you poop out your good bacteria because it's going through you. That's not good.
But then you just don't have any left.
To
be honest.
So, that's actually a good point. When you get the stomach bug, okay? This is a pet peeve. The stomach bug is not the stomach flu. Okay? It's just the stomach bug. It's the bug. You got it. Now you're diarrhea and vomiting. Guess what you're doing? You're getting rid of the good stuff in your gut. So you need to replenish that with your probiotic and feed it with your prebiotic. And then, and it takes about a month to replenish that stuff. And you'll know that you replenished it because you were taking your probiotic and now you get a little bloating. That means that you are getting a little too much. So you just stop it for a little while.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was a study where they gave people antibiotic, and then they like check their stools like several times over the course of like 2 years. I think it was 2 years. It was 1 or 2 years, and they still could detect like their gut was off balance.
Yeah, because they weren't replenishing it, because we aren't eating dirt-covered onions and carrots anymore.
Yeah.
We clean all of our food. And we wash our hands before we eat, except for my son. He doesn't like to do that. He washes his hands and then he goes and pets the dog. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
So anyways, his gut is good now. But our guts aren't, because we wash too much.
Right.
That's why you need this stuff in you.
That's right.
Yeah. What else?
I think that's everything. So
covered it all.
Yes, I'm going to share the app and that article that, like I said, kind of delineates a little bit more, like if you have IBS or if you have this or you have that.
Sure. Which one you're looking for?
Which ones, like supplement, and then also food.
And the that would be fun.
Yeah, it is. That's like I love this article.
I need to know this stuff, and I eat the right prebiotics. You know, I gotta feed my gut bacteria friends in there. I want them to be friendly to me. So,
oh shoot, you know what else I need to do? I need to acknowledge Emily Whitaker.
She's always helping us out.
Yeah, because she did some of this research for me.
She's going to be a great dietitian someday. She's still in school, right?
Yeah, she's a senior this year.
This year, so next year she'll be a great dietitian. And Heather's been training her. Where's she go to school?
Central Missouri University. Is that what it's called?
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
So anything else that we need to talk about?
I think that is
so we'll put those links on.
Yes.
We had an idea to add a diet called the Gerson therapy diet.
The what?
Gerson therapy diet.
Gerson?
Yeah, it's a new one.
Okay, I don't know.
We're going to add it to our list, but we're not going to get there for a while.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Gerson.
Okay.
Gerson therapy. Actually, you know what? If you Google Gerson therapy, it actually comes up. If you just Google Gerson TH, and it actually comes up.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. Okay. So we have all learned tons and tons about our probiotics and prebiotics now. We know, and we're going to have an article that can help us to know what to eat and stuff. And then we have someone that wants to come in. And so next week, what are we going to talk about?
So should we get into IBS, I guess, or we could do like
Let's do IBS.
I mean, I don't know if we need a separate like diarrhea constipation conversation.
I think we probably do, because there's other reasons. But let's because if we do IBS, then it'll lead us into one or the other.
Yes.
Whichever bubble guts we got. Hopefully you won't have any because you took your probiotic. Anyways, okay, next week, IBS. All you gut lovers out there, we will be talking about that. Oh wait, next week is Thanksgiving. 2 weeks.
Okay.
Unless you can do it on Tuesday.
I can't do it on Tuesday.
Okay, so it'll be 2 weeks. Next week we aren't going to do anything because we are going to have our Thanksgiving family around.
Yes, lots of.
Are you going to?
No, we're hosting. Well, yes, I'm going to my 25th high school reunion on Saturday night. But before that, I'm hosting all my in-laws.
So see, she's going to have lots of family. Her hair would be like this if we tried to do it.
It's probably
although
best.
She might want the escape. But okay, so please enjoy your Thanksgivings and know that we are wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much.
No, eat too much, but then, do it intentionally. But then don't keep doing it. Just do it on Thursday. Eat too much.
Only eat on Thursday, but listen to your cues so that you're not sitting there afterwards going, oh, why did I eat so much? Just eat enough and then take your nap.
And then wake up and eat some more. Come on.
Yeah, and then eat your pie afterwards. That's what I do. I fall asleep. And then my dad loves pecan pie. I call it snot pie because kind of looks like snot in there.
Why do you ruin it? Pecan pie's delicious.
I love it. But see, my dad and I have this thing. I do not like the pecans on the pie mixed in or anything. So my mom has this way of she makes the filling and then the nuts go on top. Okay.
Right.
And so, so my dad and I have this thing, right? So I get the pie and then he sits next to me and I take all the pecans off and I give them to him and I just eat the snotty part. It's so good. It does not taste like snot, which is good. Okay. So enjoy your whatever favorite you like. If you want to put in the comments, you can do that. And if you have any questions or you want something added to our list, please let us know. And we will see you again in 2 weeks for irritable bowel. Right? As we're going into the holiday. We might all have irritable bowel. All right. Have a good day. Bye.